Hello everybody, this is Refresh. I am also known as Refresh Demon around the internets, and I am trying out a new format for my Refresh TV YouTube channel. This is called Like Last Week, and it's pretty much just a collection of videos that I have liked last week, and I'm introducing them to you. I am a Korean American, and consequently I have a bit of an affinity for Korean content in particular. Each week I'm going to go through and find all the things that I liked. I'm a bit more selective on this channel specifically so that I can make sure I only bring you the highest highlights, but you can see a list of all of the videos that I have watched in the description box below. I'll have playlists of all of them so that you can see what it is that I watched and then see everything that I liked from it. I watch a lot every week, and so these are the highlights from the week. We'll start with Stella Jang. She is a singer-songwriter in Korea, and she has her own YouTube channel where she uploads covers and some of her own original music as well, but she's also signed with a label, so you'll see more professional music videos and songs from her as well. This is her cover of Pink Martini's Sympathique. I don't speak French, so I know that that pronunciation is going to be totally off, but I particularly enjoy her French covers because she lived in France for a while, and I think her French sounds really good to me, and it's just nice hearing some French music, which I'm not very familiar with. And so Stella is in some ways a portal into that. I'll go ahead and play a little bit of this particular performance so you can get a sense of it. And the links to this video and every other video that I'm highlighting here are in the description box below, so you can check them out there. So that's Stella's cover of Sympathique by Pink Martini. If you'd like to see any more of her work, check out the video. The link is in the description box below. We'll move on to the next video. This video is by an artist I've never heard of before, Park So-yu, and it's featuring Kim Nae Hyun. I like this particular song for its dreamy pop qualities. I like the almost floating aesthetic that it gives you and its blurry, textured production. And I'll play a little bit for you to give you a sense of what it's like. Next up is 고속터미널 by Kaya. Kaya is an artist that I am not familiar with at all. This one just showed up because I'm subscribed to the Pomplamoose YouTube channel right here. And I like this particular song because it's got that female singer-songwriter type vibe. It's a little bit more poppy, and so it's got some keyboards and some brighter sounds that are kind of catchy. Kind of reminds me of Lusai Toki, which I used to listen to a lot back in the day, and they're still around, I think. But let's go ahead and listen to a clip from here, and if you like it, again, the link is in the description box below. So that was Kaya's 고속터미널, translated as Express Terminal. You can see that in the description box down here. Next I have for you Choi Jung Yoon, who is an artist that I'm also not familiar with, like the last artist Kaya. She is also a soloist, from what I can tell, and has a bit more of a poppy vibe. Not super pop, it's very low-back Korean indie pop, and I really like this particular song. I will play you a little bit right now. 예를 들면 하얀 티셔츠를 입은 너 집에 오면 반갑다고 So one of the things I like about this is the production and the arrangement has a little bit of a groove, a little bit of a funk. You can hear a bit of scratch guitar and that really bouncy bass that I really like. And I also like the ascending melody line in this particular song. It's very catchy. The next music video I have for you, it hits a bit of a soft spot for me because eAeon is one of the main members of a rock pop group that I really liked back in the day called Mot. I think they're still around too, and his solo work has also been wonderfully moody, atmospheric, and he's got this really fragile voice. In this particular track called Bad Tea Party, which I'm sure that you can guess is inspired by Alice in Wonderland, he actually has a feature from the rapper Swervy, and I'm going to play just a little bit for you right now.
Insanity is my vanity, my tragedy. 이건 내 머릿속 길을 잃은 멜로디. 여기 갑자기 또 사라지는 gravity. 다시 내게서 멀어진 my reality.
As you can tell, eAeon really works to capture a sense of madness in his arrangement. It's very dense. There's that deep bass that's rumbling, and I like the crashing of the rest of the arrangement that really helps capture that craziness that you might experience drinking with the Mad Hatter. Swervy herself, her rap in this one is not as interesting as some of her own work, but I think her feature is alright. This is not eAeon's strongest work, but I still have such a soft spot for him that I do want to feature his work whenever it is decent. Next up, we have Punchnello featuring Kid Milli in Fine. I don't really know Punchnello that well, have not listened to much of his music, but this is a rapper, and I particularly was drawn to this song because I really like the production. I like the light guitars that are bouncing around and pinching, and it has that nice low-key vibe to it that's not really intense and very enjoyable and very positive in its tone. So I'll play you a little bit right now.
So shut your ass up, wake me up. 여기 너무 시끄러운 걸 다른 데로 보내줘. 걱정이 없는 곳으로 지겨워 한숨 소리. 내가 전염되겠어. 부탁인데 내 앞에서 푸념 노래 놓지 말아줘.
So as you can see, he has a pretty good flow. I also like the chorus, which goes living good, living good. Yeah, it's a pretty catchy overall piece, and the minimalism really helps sell the lightness of the song. And so I encourage you to check out the whole thing. The beats do get a little bit more dense as it goes along, but it's never too heavy, and it's just a really good, fun late summer track. Next up is Pomplamoose. Pomplamoose is a duo, and sometimes they have a full band. In this case, they fully do, and they do their own original music, but they are also pretty well known for some really groovy covers. In this case, they're doing a cover of Blondie's One Way or Another, and I really like this particular cover. They always put their own spin on their covers, and so they do really sound like a Pomplamoose song. When you hear this and you hear another Pomplamoose song, you're definitely going to be able to tell what is going on. This is not a Korean group, obviously, and they are pretty well known around YouTube as a YouTube band, but I still would like to highlight this one because I really like this song. So here we go. So I stopped it right on the really addictive hand claps there, but as you can see, it has a really nice groove, a great bounce by the bassist there, and the keyboardist is really hitting those little staccato beats to keep you synced along. And then the vocalist, Natalie, just has a very specific style that I find very catchy, and sometimes she just finds the right songs and performs them in just the right ways to grab your ears and not let go. So it was hard for me to stop this one, but check it out when you get a chance. The final music video for this week is from BUMKEY. He is, I think, a bit more known than any of the other artists besides Pomplamoose that I have featured this week. BUMKEY is an R&B singer, and this particular song features Shupabi, Super B, I guess. And the song is called 여기저기거기, and in parentheses COVID-19. So I picked up this song in particular because it's got a nice groove. I really like the synths that go whoop, whoop, whoop in the arrangement, and BUMKEY always has pretty fine vocals, and so it is a very pleasant song to listen to, but it's also a very relevant song because it's just talking about all the places that BUMKEY would like to go with you when all of this madness is over.
Let me take you to the moonlight, baby. 우리를 비추는 저 태양 아래. You know where I came from. 내가 데려다 줄게. 말해줘.
So that was a snippet of 여기저기거기. I highly recommend that you check it out. The final bit for this week in music is not a music video at all. This is actually Andrew Huang's Why Pop Music is Obsessed with This One Note. Andrew Huang is also a pretty well-known music YouTuber, and he is a musician as well as just a general music YouTuber. He does a lot of interesting videos about music and often experiments with new musical instruments or sounds, or makes music with all sorts of unusual objects, turning them into instruments. And if you are really into music and music production, I highly recommend that you check out his channel. But I'll show you a little clip from this one.
I'm just gonna get some help from the Lumi here because it's got these nice light up keys. And you're gonna see that this note in this nice orange coral color is all over pop music right now. By the way, supertonic is just a fancy word that means the second note in the scale.
So I'm not gonna spoil the rest of the video because it's a lot of fun to hear all of the pop music right now that is using this note, and so you should check it out. But he does perform that note alongside the actual music that you will probably be familiar with if you're following American pop music. The final video here that I'm going to highlight is not at all music related. This is not just a music related series of videos, it's just whatever I found interesting this week. In this particular case, we have Second Thought, Are You Really Free Under Capitalism? Now, I have to preface this by saying that Second Thought is an openly socialist YouTuber, and so a lot of his videos are going to have socialist messages. If you're not interested in that, you can just skip past this one. I'm going to have timestamps all over the description box below, so you can just skip to my conclusion if you're interested, or just check out the videos that I've linked before. But Second Thought is explaining how capitalism here is not necessarily as free as you think it is, and how in some ways capitalism can be just as oppressive.
For decades now, the words capitalism and freedom have been treated as synonyms. But over the course of this video, I hope to show you that capitalism doesn't enable freedom at all. In fact, it actively suppresses it. This may sound like a strange claim, but bear with me. I think you'll come around by the end.
I'm not going to actually go into his arguments here, but I am already sympathetic towards this message, so I'm going to like a lot of videos that do a decent job of explaining the socialist argument. Alright, that is it for me in terms of videos that I have liked from this week. Next week I'll be back with another recap, but if there are any videos that you have particularly liked this week, go ahead and leave those with links to the videos in the comments below, and I'll try to check them out if I get a chance. Remember, this is for the week of September 13th through September 19th, so make sure that any videos you want to link down there are from that week, and if I find anything interesting from those, I'll make a comment response video as well, letting you know what I thought about your picks from this week. Let me know what you thought about any of these music videos, songs, or other videos that I have highlighted here in this video. And if you found this recap for September 13th through September 19th enjoyable, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit subscribe. Also, since this is the first time that I'm doing this format, if you have any thoughts or suggestions, also leave those in the comments below, and I will keep those in mind as I produce more of these. This is Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.